Welcome back. We're back on my channel at Cashflow Chess. Today we're going to learn about how to set up your business credit and your personal credit profile correctly. So let's get started. So credit, the foundation of success. So this is what you will learn today. I'm going to give you the strategies and tools to scale your business to the next level, how to access funding for new and existing businesses, how to optimize your personal credit profile to be attractive to the banks, and how to build relationships with the banks and secure high limits. The exact strategy to set up your LLCs, and last one is going to be the best banks to build relationships with. Let's go. So, who am I? Of course, you probably never heard of me, or you heard of me before on Instagram at CashFlowChess. But I'm 27 years old. I grew up in California. I've been an entrepreneur full time for about 6 years. I've co-founded a variety of multi six and seven figure businesses, a total of 350K in approved credit in just over a year. We're reaching for another 150K in the next 2 months to make it about $500,000 in credit. I've invested in e-commerce, crypto liquidity pools, forex trading robots, and mainly on my own education. I'm a credit specialist. I teach entrepreneurs how to quickly access huge amounts of 0% interest business credit. I'm a huge believer of the more you can borrow, the more you can earn. And all wealthy people have this one thing in common, and that's going to be debt. So you guys must be thinking like, who's this crazy guy telling me to get into debt? Well, there's two differences when it comes to debt. We have good debt and we have bad debt. So I mainly focus on the good debt. So good debt, we borrow money to invest and it appreciates or makes money. While bad debt, we borrow money to purchase liabilities and it takes money out of your pockets. For example, like if you would buy a car, it takes money out of your pockets every month when you finance it. So it's categorized as bad debt. But if you would rent it out and you would make a profit on it every month and it's putting money into your pockets, now categorized as good debt. Let's go. So we have four ways to fund a business or investment. So we have hard earned cash, and when we're using hard earned cash, we're losing opportunity costs when could be using other people's money. The hard earned cash could be better used on long term investments while we use other people's money for more short term investments. Another way to fund your business or investments is to give some equity away or find an equity partner. But doing so, you're going to give away some profits and you're going to give away some control as well. The next one is going to be personal and business loans. So personal loans affect your credit score. So I wouldn't recommend that unless you're trying to refinance something. And business loans, they charge a lot of high interest, so I wouldn't recommend that either. And that kind of brought me into seeing 0% business credit cards. So you borrow money for free and you save your cash for your long-term investments using 0% business credit cards. So I have two steps for financial freedom. One is going to be access to capital, and two is access to the right investments. Today, I'm going to teach you number one, access to capital. How to get access to capital, guys. So, what is business credit? These are credit cards you access with a business EIN where you're able to leverage relationships with the bank, but you do have to personally guarantee this. And why is business credit so powerful? Well, business accounts and utilization does not report on your personal credit profile. This makes it less risky to us due to the ability to balance transfer to buy more time. And also, it also gives us the ability to dispute debt and negative items from your profile. So, how do you get access to business credit? Well, first you have to optimize an attractive personal credit profile. You have to know where, when, and how to apply. And last thing would be to build strong relationships with bankers. So, what is 0% interest? So, these banks give about 0% interest for about 6 to 20 months usually. So, we have right here this example of a 0% interest intro offer for 18 billing cycles, another one for 0% for another 18 billing cycles. And usually we see this one is going to be for 12 months. So, it's 12 billing cycles. So, these are some common mistakes that we see a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, and investors make when they're applying for credit. One is they're applying for too many personal cards, or they're not filling out their applications properly. Another one is when you apply for cards that are outside your tier. If you're just at the level 1 tier, you can't apply for the level 4 tier. You can't go for the platinum Amex card if you just have the beginner Amex Delta card. Another one would be not requesting a credit line increase every 6 months to boost your score. And another one would be not applying for high limit cards. I'm going to go through some high limit cards with you guys. So we have our personal credit optimization section. So this is how we're going to be able to check your score for free. We have annualcreditreports.com, creditkarma.com, experian.com. And usually banks are going to show you two types of scores. It's going to be FICO score and Vantage score. I recommend you always stick with FICO score because that's what the underwriters are usually going to look at. So this is kind of the checklist of what we're going to look for when we're applying for business credit. So we want our scores to ideally be over 720, but if you're under that, about 650 and plus, you can always work on that. Our highest impact on score would be the payment history. So we don't want any late payments or collections, and definitely no bankruptcies. Utilization, we want ideally under 10% for each account. And we want at least 4 primary personal accounts. We want one personal account with over $10,000 in credit limit, and we want no more than 2 account openings in the last 6 months. So here are some cards that I would recommend that build strategic relationships with these banks. These are high limit cards. So first we have the Sapphire Reserve. That one is going to be a 10K minimum credit limit. I recommend that one if you travel a lot. I also recommend the Built card. That one's also a great travel card. One of my personal favorites would be the Chase Freedom Unlimited. You get a lot of points with that. I believe it's 1.5% back on each purchase. And I'll also recommend the American Express Delta. That one gives high limits as well. So personal credit optimization. So we also want to know which banks pull from which bureau based on your state. Understand how many inquiries are too many. We will want no more than 2 in the last 6 months and 4 in the last 12 months. And you can always remove your inquiries off your credit report. There's a strategy you can find on my page. Length of credit history, you want at least 15. This is going to be at least 15% of your score. The more age you have, the higher your score. And you can always add an authorized user to boost your score. You can ask your mom, dad, uncle, auntie, cousin, brother, sister to add you on their card, and it should boost your score. So now we're on the LLC and EIN section of the business credit. So first you want to go to your state's Secretary of State and register your EIN, or you can always use the incfile.com if it makes it a little easier for you. You also want to check your name to see if it's available in your state website. You also want to make sure the name is not sounding very risky, something in the safe kind of name. After you go there, you want to go on the IRS website to register your free EIN number. And remember to save all documents in one folder so you can keep it all organized on your computer. So these are some expert tips I will recommend for you guys. You want to separate your personal finance from your business so you do not get audited. You're getting business credit for a reason, to separate your business finances from your personal finances. And business credit allows you to utilize your limit without having it to report to your profile. What this means is if you would max out a business credit card, it would not affect your personal credit profile. But if you would max out your personal credit utilization, that would affect your personal credit profile. It'll tank your score. So business location. I recommend not using a PO box. They usually get flagged as risky. I'll use a physical location. If you're just starting out, you could just use your home address, but I would switch to a virtual office when you're able to. I recommend Opus and Regus. Okay, so opening up your checking account. Here we go. Go to your bank account, and you want to target and opening a business checking account. Make sure to have these items. You want to have an operating agreement, your article of organization, your EIN number, and the NICS code. This is going to be the classification code for your business. I'm going to have the codes in the next slide. And the last thing would be you want to deposit at least $5,000 and let it sit in your bank account before applying for the business credit cards. So here are some NICS codes that I would recommend so your company will be classified in a safe industry. So we have consulting, marketing, technology, e-commerce, and services. So now we're going to go and apply for the credit cards. So you ideally want to apply for credit cards with a relationship banker, but if you don't have a relationship banker, you could use the online applications. Those work too, but if you use a relationship banker, it usually gets to a human underwriter, so you usually get a higher limit. So you also want to prioritize the banks that you build relationships with through your personal accounts. You want to prioritize banks that have 0% business credit cards, and you want to prioritize the banks that offer sign-up bonuses. And the last thing is you want to prioritize the banks that pull from your strongest credit reporting bureau. What this means is if you recently applied for Bank of America or US Bank and they pull from the TransUnion Bureau, and you apply for Chase next and they pull from Experian, Chase will not be able to see that you've been applying for credit on the TransUnion side for US Bank and Bank of America. So you want to target the one that you haven't applied for credit with yet. So here are the best national banks that I recommend as well. And you guys should prioritize these banks as well. So we have American Express, Chase, Bank of America, and US Bank. These are the banks that I recommend that have the highest credit limits that they'll give you and the best 0% interest offerings. Yeah, thank you for listening. And if you need one-on-one help to secure funding, you can always schedule a call with me in the link below. Thanks again. Happy funding.